All right, my beautiful people, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, and we're back with the money mind shift, how rich people think. Now, we understand, or I believe, I'm a true believer that wealth begins in the mind. And if that's the case, then you got to ask yourself, what am I putting into my mind so that I can have an output into my life? Again, what am I putting into my mind so I can have an output into my life? And so I remember back when I was a financial zero, and there were things that I did. I decided to do to be a financial hero. And so what I decided to do was to help my people out. Now, here's the deal. Most people will tell you if you want to be successful that you should do what? You should read. But here's the deal. Most unsuccessful people just choose not to read. So people ask me, what did I do to get out of debt? What did I do to get to the place where I can start to acquire assets? And I tell them the first thing that I did was read. But here's the deal. I understand that most people just don't want to make the time to read. So I decided to create a show where we'll read together. And hopefully you'll take something away. So this is a book, How Rich People Think by Steve Seibold. Steve, make sure I get my check. And what this is, we're going to go through this. It's a 100-day journey. We're on day number 10, which is talking about the difference between negative and positive thinking. And so rich people think differently than poor people. And so we got to ask ourselves, are we going to start to change the way that we think and start thinking like rich people so that we can have rich results? Or we're going to start thinking like rich people so that we can have rich results. Here's the deal. If you want to learn how to swim, you're going to learn from swimmers. If you're going to learn how to be a dentist, you're going to learn from people that practice dentists. Well, if you want to learn how to get out of debt, if you want to learn how to be wealthy, then you got to learn from wealthy people, or you got to learn from what they have left over for us, which is in the books. All right, day number 10, let us begin. Middle class believes money is negative. World class believes money is positive. Ask most people about money and you'll understand why they don't have any. Let that sink in for a second. Ask most people about money and you'll understand why they don't have any. The masses see ambitious people as greedy and self-serving. They see money as a necessary evil that must be managed but never focused on. After all, there are more righteous pursuits like television, sports, and movies. The idea of building wealth seems shallow. It also seems like a lot of work. The rich see money as a positive tool that has the power to create freedom and opportunity for themselves and their families. How do you see money? Do you see money as an opportunity to create freedom, an opportunity for yourselves? How do you see money? How do you view money? And here's what I learned, guys, over this time of being a certified financial educator, going into the schools, going into the churches, going into the organizations, talking to families. There is a real fear when it relates to money. They don't see it the right way. And I think it's because we've been taught not to talk about it. Like it's almost as if we're talking about money, it's a bad thing, but yet we got to use it every day. Let me tell you something, guys. Money is a major piece to the life puzzle. It is a major piece to the life puzzle. If you don't believe it, then try living without it. If you don't believe it, try living without it. Being wealthy gives them the option to live what author-philosopher Ayn Rand called an unrestricted existence. This means having the ability to do what they want, when they want, with whom they want, for as long as they want, without limitations. Being able to do what they want, when they want, with whom they want, for as long as they want, without limitations. Man, how would it feel, man, to be in a position where you can do that whenever you want, without any limitations, that you put yourself in position financially to be able to afford to live life without any limitations. It also gives them the freedom to engage in their favorite pastimes, no matter how lavish or seemingly impractical to the masses. Many millionaires form charitable foundations and donate substantial sums to the less fortunate. Without the ongoing support of wealthy benefactors, most charities would not survive. So while the middle class demonizes and criticizes the world class for selfishness and greed, the latter is donating a lion's share of the money that keep charities alive. Many also pay more taxes in a year than most people in a lifetime and are essentially responsible for funding the infrastructure of the government's tax base. At the heart of this level of thinking is the belief that money is either a tool of evil or empowerment. At the root of this thinking is the belief that money is either a tool of evil or empowerment. Which is it for you? The belief you adopt will lead you to the abundant wealth or the middle class mediocrity. The belief that you adopt will lead you to abundant wealth or middle class mediocrity. Which is it for you, man? What is it that you believe about money? Did you believe it's a tool for evil, or do you believe that's a tool for empowerment? Because what you think ultimately you will attract, what you think ultimately you will become. And we want to start to have a healthy mindset as it relates to money. Now, here's a quote of the day. It says, a man with a surplus can control circumstances, but a man without a surplus is controlled by them and often has no opportunity to exercise judgment. A man with a surplus can control circumstances, but a man without a surplus is controlled by them and often has no opportunity to exercise judgment. I'm saying that I want to be a man with a surplus. I'm saying I want to be a man that's living from a place of abundance and a place of love. A man with a surplus can control circumstances, but a man without a surplus is controlled by them. Now, here's the critical thinking question of the day. Here's the thing. It says, do you believe riches create more opportunities or more problems? Do you believe that riches create more opportunities or more problems? See, I'm an opportunity seeker. And matter of fact, we read this quote in the Bible, says, ask, seek, and knock, right? You should be seeking opportunities. And money, for me, it opens up opportunities. Now, here's what I found, man. Growing up, we had this song, more money, more problems. And that's cool. We understand that you'll have more financial pressure, have more people with a handout, you have more people trying to get your dollars that you have earned. But why do we focus on the problems? There's also more money, more opportunity. People that have not figured out the money game, they find themselves not being able to take advantage of opportunities. Think about it. You don't have any money, but you got a great idea that you want to scale, but you don't have any money. It's going to make it even much more difficult for you to realize that idea or bring that idea to fruition. You got to go borrow money from the bank. You got to go to take a loan out in order to build your company. But what happens when you do have money? You have a great idea. You have the money to be able to fund your idea, and then you go ahead and put it out. So the question is, do you believe that being rich, it creates more opportunities, or does it create more problems? And the way in which you view it is what will come to you. You'll focus on the problems instead of focusing on the opportunities. And this is exactly what poor people do. They focus on the problem. And so instead of saying, hey, here's a big problem, here's a big problem that I see in the world, they focus on the problem. And here's what I say. Yes, that is a problem, but I see an opportunity to solve it. So I go and I try and solve the problem. Guess what? When you solve the problem, people pay you for your solution. But yet poor people are steadily talking about the problem and never talking about bringing forth a solution for which they can scale and they can become rich from. It's a different way of thinking. And I'm saying I'm not going to be a person that's going to talk about the problem all day, all night, the next day, and wallow in the mud of the rest of people that's talking about problem after problem after problem. What I'm doing is I'm saying, yes, that's a problem. That means that we need to find a solution to that problem. And I'm going to be on this side looking at the opportunity that we have because we recognize a problem. Think about it. You recognize a problem. That gives you an opportunity. That gives you an edge to go out and look for ways to solve it. And if you're the only one that's going to focus on solving the problem, and if you're the only one that finds a solution for the problem, well, guess who gets paid? You get paid from the people that are complaining about it because they're going to buy your solution to the problem that they keep complaining about. Don't spend your time on the problem. Spend your time on the opportunity. If it is a problem, then inherently there's an opportunity that comes along with it. And rich people, what they do is look for ways to solve the problems for which everybody else complains about. Now, here's your action step. Make a list of the things you would do if you were a millionaire. Make a list of the things that you would do if you were a millionaire. And that can be very difficult for some people because they can't even imagine having $1 million. They can't even imagine being a millionaire. But what are some things that you would do if you were a millionaire? Make this list. Make this list today so you can start to see where you are headed. You can start to see where's your heart attitude as it relates to money. There is so much opportunity in this land, so much opportunity that's in this world. The question is, are you going to be a person that's going to capitalize on the opportunities that are in front of you? Be a person that says that, hey, I'm not going to complain about the problems that I see. I'm going to be a person that's going to bring solutions to these problems. And I know if I bring enough solutions, if I solve the big enough problem, then inherently I'm going to get paid for my efforts. And this is how the rich people get rich. They find multiple problems. They find multiple solutions, which inherently means that they have multiple streams of income. See, rich people aren't clocking in and out 9 to 5 every day. No, they're not. That's not how they're getting paid. They're getting paid off of the efforts or the efforts of others, and they're getting paid for the solutions that they brought to this world, whatever that may be. So be a person that's focused on creating more opportunities. Be a person that's seeing money as a positive thing in your life. Be a person that's seeing money as being something that can bring you more freedom and create more opportunity for you. If you don't believe that money is a major piece to the life puzzle, here's what I got to say to you. Try living without it. Well, this is ERGJ, and today we talked about rich people or poor people thinking that money is negative, while rich people are thinking that money is positive. And we do this each and every day at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll be back tomorrow on day number 11 talking about how rich people think by Steve Seibold. Rich People Think by Steve Seibold. Get the book, go through it. It's a 100-day journey, and we're going to be starting to change the way that we think about money. If we have garbage in, it's going to be garbage out. But if we start to put good things in as it relates to money, then we're going to have good things happen in our life. Rich people think differently. Start to think rich, and you'll have a rich life. What is ERGJ, your certified financial educator? I'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. And the question is, will you?